Telling our stories is the connective tissue of the collective human experience. The Just Keep Talking podcast delves into the lives and stories of artists. What is the impact of mental health on creativity? What does it mean to be a creative individual? Someone who feels deeply, experiences joy and pain intensely, and navigates the challenges of life through the creative process. With each story shared, we explore the authentic experience of our basic need to be seen, to be heard, and to belong. We're really not so different from one another, nor are we alone. Together, we can inspire, encourage, and enlighten each other to find the true joy and fulfillment that is within ourselves. When we just keep talking, we create the space for gratitude, self-acceptance, and grace in everyday life. In a world filled with divisiveness, fostering inclusivity and connection is a powerful way to make a positive impact. The Just Keep Talking podcast with me, Brother Love, because your story matters.
Was it just a drink? Did I like the t-shirt you were wearing? Like the t-shirt that you're wearing?
Hello and welcome to the Just Keep Talking podcast with me, your host, Brother Love. Your story matters. This is brought to you by Mr. Aaron's Goods. He is the best bagel cat in Nashville, Tennessee. If you're in the Inglewood area, go to Mr. Aaron's Goods. It is 4204 Gallatin Pike. Mention Brother Love or the Just Keep Talking podcast, and they're going to give you like a great discount, and you're going to feel so much better about yourself that you had the best bagel in Nashville. And you're welcome for that. My guest is Natasha Blaine. Natasha Blaine is a Nashville-based singer-songwriter blending neo-soul, R&B, and pop into a soulful, groove-driven sound. The native Seattleite recently appeared on season 29 of The Voice and has toured nationally with your backing band, The Intuition. Hello.
Hi,
Oh.
Thank you so much for having me.
I am thrilled to be in your home. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, of course.
It's very kind, and we live right near each other, which is really cool.
Okay, good. Yeah, I was going to ask if it was a far drive.
It was not far at all. In fact, I stopped off at Mr. Aaron's Goods on my way here to have myself a great bagel, and so I'm full with love and joy.
Good.
And you bring love and joy.
I try to.
Man, we met at 3rd and Lindsley, Nashville, Sunday night. I believe it was in October of 2025. You were opening for The Wailers.
Yeah, that was crazy.
How did you do that? The Wailers, man.
Crazy. I mean, it was just crazy circumstances. My manager was emailing 3rd and Lindsley. We were talking about getting a date locked in with them, and they just emailed back. They're like, oh, by the way, the Wailers are looking for an opener if you want us to send in your music to see if they would want you to open. And I was just like, yeah, let's just do it. You know, didn't think it would ever happen, but it did.
That is so, see, I thought you guys were like pals and buddies. Well, because the commercial that they had was like they were speaking as if you had been doing this before together.
Oh, that's really nice.
Yeah, that is nice.
They were so complimentary of us. It was really cool.
Well, you are fabulous.
Thank you.
Absolutely. I so enjoyed your set. And there's just this thing going on in Nashville these days. This, I guess it's neo-soul. Mm-hmm. It's soul music. And, you know, I moved to Nashville here, I don't know, like 18 years ago. And I came to town playing drums in a country rock band.
Yeah.
And country music was never on my radar. I mean, I've always loved the classics, Willie Nelson, The Man in Black. You know, I love old Hank Snow, Jimmy Rogers. I love that stuff, country and Western music.
Yeah, yeah.
And I didn't know, like, I'm from New York City, and I remember there was a time when it was like everybody was going to Central Park, like, who's Garth Brooks? I remember saying, who's Garth Brooks? And I went, and there were like 2 million people that know exactly who Garth Brooks was.
Wow.
So I had my head in the rock and roll sand.
Wow.
And proudly I wear it. I'm a rock and roller. I love funk music. I love soul music. And I am loving what is going on in Nashville. And you are right there with it.
Oh, thanks. Yeah, I think there's a lot of really cool different genres kind of coming up recently. There's so many people moving here. Mm-hmm. And I think that's really bringing a lot of ideas and a lot of creativity. It's amazing to be a part of it.
That's amazing because I felt like an outsider when I moved here, and nobody from back home in New York City would come visit. They would say, man, I'm sorry, I got the wrong accent. Hey, I'm not coming there. They got country music. I like my rock and roll or whatever. And I'm like, but I'm in a rock and roll band now. You know, I've been in a band, Them Vibes. We created rock and roll here in East Nashville for ourselves, and we were not alone.
That's awesome.
Nashville is really everything. You've been in Nashville for how long, you said?
For 8 years, almost 8 years. Yep.
Yeah. And what brought you here?
I went to school at Vandy.
Yeah.
I moved here in 2018, which is just crazy to think about. And mostly moved here because I wanted to live in a music city, a music hub.
Yeah.
It was either here or LA or New York, and I chose Nashville.
Yeah. Are you happy you chose Nashville?
Oh, I'm so happy I chose Nashville.
Isn't it-
I've stayed.
Yeah. So what's the community like for you? Because for me, it's everything.
Yeah.
I don't know if I'd stay in Nashville if it weren't for the fact that I could go to Kroger, to a shoe store, to a library, to anywhere, and just see a smiling face that I recognize that makes me feel like that I belong.
Yeah, no, that's completely how I feel too. You know, I grew up in Seattle and I love Seattle, but it's a very different vibe, especially for creativity, just like the town I grew up in. Not a lot of creatives. I was one of very few musicians, people like pursuing the creative arts. And yeah, moving here was just like a breath of fresh air.
Yeah.
Everywhere you go, there's people who are excited about what you're doing and want to work with you
Yeah.
and want to learn more. It's really cool.
Yeah, absolutely. So what was your music growing up? What did you love?
I fell in love with the Beatles because my parents, mostly my mom, just played the Beatles on repeat. Like in the car, we would have, you know, back when we had CDs, we had like our go-to CDs. My favorite was always the Beatles' #1 record.
Yeah.
And I would just like dictate, like, we need to listen to this one, skip this one.
Yeah.
I was so bossy, as my mom would say.
It's funny.
But I loved the Beatles. And
What about the Beatles? What song on that #1's record brings something to your heart?
Hey Jude was always one of my favorites.
Yeah.
I love the end when they just get wild.
Yeah.
It just breaks out, gets really big.
Yeah.
I loved that as a kid.
That's beautiful. I remember as a kid being at home in Queens, New York, and my mom had the Beatles records and my dad had the Stones records. And that's back in the day that still exists today where people literally like one or the other.
Yeah, it's like a team.
Which is ridiculous. It's like, why can't we love all of it?
Yeah.
But I remember that listening to, I think it was like Lucy in the Sky with Diamonds. It was a Beatles, and it was the safest that I'd ever felt in my life. It was the only time in my life that the family was there, everybody, like cousins, aunts, and uncles. And we were together. We were singing. I was singing the harmonies. They were probably telling me to shut up so we could listen to it.
Yeah.
But I came from a house that was, my parents divorced not long after that. And, you know, there was a lot of turmoil for me growing up. And I remember that listening to those Beatles records together as a family was the safest I'd ever felt, probably even to this day.
Wow, that's beautiful.
Yeah, thanks.
beautiful.
Thanks for, well, you brought it up. Thanks.
Yeah.
So you're in Nashville, and there's a scene here that is this neo soul. Kenny Sharp, the 1865 Club. I mean, these are cats, because I see he likes everything you post, and vice
Yeah,
versa.
we're friends.
You're friends.
We're
I know.
friends.
He was on this show, Brown Liquor Music.
Yes.
Kenny Sharp, and I love that cat, and I love how hard he works.
He's awesome.
Yeah, and I just love, I feel like you guys all have this thing together. There's some others too. Who else is in your orbit that you want to mention?
I would say Kelsey Blackstone.
Yeah.
She's awesome. Also one of my really good friends. Beautiful person, inside and out. Kara Frazier is
Yep.
also doing great.
She was just on this show.
Oh, good.
She was, so I work at Lightning 100.
Yeah.
Okay. So I do a few segments there. I host Community Corner. And I also host Nashville Sunday Nights.
Yeah.
I've been a part of the station for a long time.
Yeah, that's
They
awesome.
brought my band, Them Vibes, to light. There would be no career. We were talking off air about
Wow.
making money and Spotify and all. And, you know, as much as we never made it like big, huge, you know, Them Vibes, but I toured the country, I toured the world, and I've been able to have a career because of Lightning 100.
Wow.
And Kara Frazier got into Music City Mayhem.
Yes,
and
I saw.
And they told her, you can't use the song that got you here because you co-wrote it with Them Vibes, which is Brother Love, and he works at the station. You know, it's like when you win, you lose. Why?
Oh, that's really funny.
You know, I was so happy for her. And she came in there like gangbusters, and all she did was be her authentic self.
Yeah.
She was absolutely enough to get to the beginning, to go through all the stages. It's a contest, folks. Music City Mayhem is a contest. And the winner gets some great prizes, and you get a lot of airplay on Lightning 100, and it's a lot of love. And she was the runner-up. She went from just, the beginning where everybody goes to the runner-up.
It's amazing.
And she's incredible. And she is amazing, and you're amazing, and I love your scene. You guys are creating something here that is really strong. It has a foundation. It's got solid heart and soul to it.
I'm really glad you're bringing that up, because I feel like for a long time, like when I first started playing music, and maybe I was just kind of in the wrong scenes, but I started like a lot of people in Nashville, where I was playing the writers round circuits, and I was the only person playing not country. I was like, everybody would hear my 4 songs during the writers round, and they'd come up to me and be like, "That was interesting. Is that jazz?" And I'd be like, "No, but it's jazzy, I guess."
Well, isn't that the old joke? If it's different or interesting, it's jazz.
People think, and like this is one of my big pet peeves, and I know it's just people trying to relate to me, and a lot of times it is a compliment, but people so often will come up to me and say, "I love jazz. I love what you're doing." Wow. And I'm like, those are two different things. Yeah. Jazz is an amazing genre that I have so much respect for. I studied that at school at Vandy. I studied vocal jazz, but that is not what I do. Yeah. The music I make is not jazz. Yeah, it's jazz inspired, but it's definitely not jazz.
It's so funny, just whatever you do, especially in the arts, we hope that what we do translates the way we would like it to translate, right? I've never been in a band that's just like, we are this, Yeah. It's rock and roll, it's funky, it's soul, it's blues, it's got a little of this, a little of that. And then by the time you're done saying that at the merch table and you're trying, and they're like, "Well, all right, I'll take the CD, thanks." But if they say something like, "But hey, I really like your jazzy sound," there you are, like explaining. Like I've literally had I've gotten in fights with people at the right. Like, you're here to support me, and I'm like telling you how you should accept what I'm doing, and it's just funny. The customer is always right.
The customer is always right. But as artists, we just have such an interesting perception of our art.
Yeah, the perception that I get from you is that you love doing what you do, and that it's soulful music. This neo soul. I think that's you guys. You're building something. And you have a scene here that you really are like the purveyors of. And I think it's so cool. So when you're writing and you're recording, you have your latest single that you wrote, Own Way, Pull the Thread.
Yes.
Is an amazing example of authentic writing, storytelling, soulful lyrics, soulful delivery, and the soulful musicianship. And I love your message. And you wrote a little note for the latest Own Way was out January 23rd, 2026. And you wrote, "This song means so much to me. I wanted to write something that would get me out of my head and into the present. It's a gentle reminder to be your biggest advocate instead of harshest critic." Thank you for that.
Yeah, well, thank you for reading that, and thank you for your kind words about my song, because this one is the most real song I've put out.
And why is that?
Yeah, I think for a long time I was making the music that I thought I was supposed to be making. And there's nothing wrong with experimenting. And I think at the beginning of my songwriting career, because I didn't start songwriting until I was 20.
Wow.
So I'm 27 now. So it hasn't been that long.
Yeah.
I started writing like a lot of us do, and they were all love songs. They were, heartbreak songs. And I didn't feel like I had the tools to write about what was really going on inside. And I think there has been a shift in me in the past few years where I've been feeling a lot more comfortable talking about things that are really going on in my life. And it's not only that, but it actually is what makes what we do as artists and songwriters so important.
Yeah.
It's to talk about those things and to put that into a song.
Yeah.
And hope that it reaches somebody else.
I love the sentiment of let go of who you think you're supposed to be and be who you are. I think Brene Brown was talking about that, and
Oh, yeah,
she's
love
one of
her.
my heroes.
Love her.
Yeah. And isn't that the case? I mean, you were writing what you were writing because that's where you were at. And it's just an evolution. It's in the song. I mean, you get out of our own way. Aren't we our own biggest obstacle for like everything?
100%.
And when something happens that you go, I'm so happy that happened. The thing that really just changed was that you got out of your own way
Yeah.
and it just flowed.
Yeah.
What does that feel like to finally break through your own, I don't know if it's a shell or a leather skin or just you're able to dig a little bit deeper into a space that you know exists because you feel it, but you don't
Yeah.
necessarily know how to express it.
Yeah, I think for me, like there's this armor that's always up, and it comes from maybe stuff in childhood, maybe like what you think about yourself, and it manifests as, you know, that inner critic telling yourself like, you can't do this, you're not good enough for this, you won't be able to accomplish this, why would you set your sights so high, kind of thing.
Yeah.
And it's because you're trying to protect yourself. Your ego, you're trying to protect yourself.
Yeah.
You know, that's the purpose of an ego, but only so far is that good for you. Like that fear ends up running your life. And I think for me, like this is still a work in progress every day. I was like, I'm going to write a song to try to fix this problem. And it's not fixed 100% of the time.
Yeah.
But it just looks like letting go and letting life flow the way that life wants to flow.
Yeah. That's big. That's huge stuff.
Yeah.
You could be on a mountain. You're a sage now. It's great. But it's so true. And, you know, you have to protect yourself. And boundaries are so important. See, that's what I've learned.
Yeah.
Is that like I'll meet you and within 5 seconds give you my whole life.
Yep, I do that too.
I'll give everything to you. And then when I'm hurt and trampled on or it doesn't work out, I'm like, why did I do this to myself again? My wife does the exact same thing. We're very similar in that way, which is just here I am.
Yeah.
Why not show? Who cares, right? I
Yeah.
mean, and I'm comfortable being a complete blathering idiot. You know, I'm comfortable being a funny guy or an idiot. I don't know, whatever it is.
Yeah.
I'm all right in my skin. But looking back, I was just posing and I wanted to show you this version of me and that version of me. And then when you break that stuff down and realize that the people that care about you care about all of you.
Yeah.
And then you have to care about all of yourself.
Yeah.
That's the hard part,
Yeah.
you know? And you did all of these things while being on a major television show on NBC, The Voice.
Yes.
So,
yes.
I mean, I love that this is all going on at the same time because I think part of it is what you just touched upon is that addressing an issue emotionally, it doesn't just go away. We don't just fix it. I've had friends my whole life. Well, I worked on that. Now I'm good. I'm no longer
Dusted.
right. I'm no longer depressed. I'm like, that's not how it works. It sits on your shoulder and it goes me, whatever it does. And we have to be able to say, all right, I see you, I feel you, I know you, I hear you, I am you.
Yeah.
And it's okay. Let me love you. Let me love this.
Yes.
And it's not going to necessarily go away, but maybe it won't be detrimental to my interaction with people.
Yeah.
Like I came in here all flustered, technology flying. We're in your home. I don't know you very well, but we're able to comfortably sort of
Figured it out.
Figure it out. And you
Yeah.
were very gracious. Thank you.
Yeah, of
so
course.
gracious. You're a famous person, Natasha
Oh,
Blaine.
I don't think so. That's coming from a famous person over here.
Thank you. But season 29 of The Voice. What was that about? You were Team John Legend, right?
Team Legend, yeah.
I mean, let me just set it up, folks. Like, I knew you were on The Voice because I saw you posting. You do a fabulous job of promoting yourself.
Thanks.
And you really are. You're so good at it. And I root for you because I just liked you from the internet.
Oh, thanks.
You know, really. And I met you at Third and Lindsley, and I
Yeah.
saw you perform, and I know you have the goods, and I know you have the band, and I know you can do all the things and write the songs. But to see somebody, because we're all in this together, man. We're in the entertainment world, and you were like, all right, big shot. I'm going to take a big swing.
Yeah.
How did that come about?
So I first auditioned for The Voice way back in 2019. I stood in the line. I waited.
In Nashville?
In Nashville, yeah. I woke up at like 5 a.m. to get there, and it was a really fun experience, but I didn't get past like the second round of auditions.
Yeah.
You know, I kind of got caught up in my career at that point. I was like, I don't really need to do one of these TV shows, but they ended up reaching out to me. And they were having a callback round in Nashville in October of like 2024 and invited me to come. So I didn't have to do like the, from the beginning audition.
Yeah.
Because they scouted me. And I was like, you know what? I'm free that day. I'm in town. I'm just going to show up and play a few songs and whatever happens, happens. And I did it and it went really well. And then I got a call months later and they said, we want you to come to LA. We want you to come do a blind audition. Here's all the information. And I showed up in LA. Wow. Yeah.
And you sang Sade.
I sang Sade. I sang Kiss of Life. Wow. And
Do you know the irony of that? Not to cut you off.
Yeah.
But Sade, I don't know if you know this, but earlier on in her career, and probably more of that, she was absolutely the shyest. She would perform with her back to the audience.
I didn't know that.
She was terrified. It's funny. She called Shy Day. No, I'm just kidding. I made that up. I'm sure I didn't make that up.
Someone's probably said that.
I loved Sade that whole time. Those records, a very, very loving time for me in my life. But she was completely shy. So I think it's really ironic that you auditioned for a big major TV show with Sade. You were wonderful.
Thank you.
So
Thanks.
just give us the rest of it, I guess,
Yeah.
or the highlights or whatever you want to share.
Yeah, I mean, the whole experience, like, I was just grateful to be there and kind of pinching myself and trying to soak up every moment of it. It was really cool getting to know the other contestants and getting to know everybody on the show. Like, it's a very positive environment, positive community. Just overall, like, they really want you to be yourself as an artist. They're not trying to mold you into a certain thing. And I think that was really clear with like the fact that they took me on the show, because I'm not one of those traditional, like, powerhouse, doing tons of runs kind of singers. And when I auditioned, I was like really thinking, like, I don't know how this is going to go. I'm not doing crazy runs. I don't have those huge belt notes a lot of the other singers have, because you can hear everybody else auditioning. It's incredibly nerve-wracking when you're backstage. And John Legend turned his chair for me, like right in the beginning of the song. And they didn't end up airing this, but like he basically was like, this is, you're my type of singer.
Yeah.
And this is going to work out really well. Like, we're a good pair together. And I think that was one of the coolest moments of my life.
Yeah, for sure. So how was your mental health through all this? Because like on the one hand, it's very exciting and it's like you're away from home and you're all there. And I'm assuming at least to your faces, to each other, you're rooting for each other, but it is competitive.
Yeah.
How was that for you?
Yeah, I mean, you would expect it to be more competitive between the people on the show, but honestly, it felt like we were all on one big team because we spent so much time together. We were like basically all living together. It was like summer camp. I mean, it's like any reality TV show. You're living in this little bubble by yourself, filming and just so busy with all the show stuff. The rest of your life just kind of ceases to exist for a second.
Nice.
And you would think that people would be kind of, competitive with each other and trying to one-up each other. And I didn't experience that.
Wow.
I ended up becoming such good friends with everybody. My battle partner, who I'll shout out really quickly,
Please.
Kendra Remedios, amazing artist. She sings country. I would almost say it's like Southern rock / country.
Yeah.
Incredible voice, wonderful person. We were battling each other.
I saw it.
And it was tough because we got so close during the process.
Yeah.
And we were like, well, we both want to stay. I don't want, like, either way, it felt like it was a win, but it was also a loss because neither of us wanted the other person to go home.
Wow, that's great. And I saw the battle.
Yeah.
And you both were gracious. I was waiting for that, like, just that little hint of like, okay, now one of you is just a half a step in front of the other for the camera. You know,
Yeah.
like, I mean, I have been a real silly aside. I did some extra work in New York City for like movies and stuff. And they tell you where to stand. So I was put in this one place and there was a little blue-haired woman, old, like really old. And we were at the Guggenheim Museum.
Yeah.
So we were a crowd of people just mingling at the Guggenheim while a scene was being shot, right? I have no idea if we're on film or not. And all of a sudden, this person starts pushing me out of the way. And I'm like, what is this little lady knocking me out of the way? Like, what are you doing? I said, excuse me. And she said, in all of my years, no one has ever told me where to stand. And I thought, okay, I'm going to move over here because it's not worth the fight.
Some people just...
But it was insane. She was trying to get closer to a camera, which, by the way, I have no idea. The camera wasn't anywhere near us. You know what I mean? It could have been the back of our heads. So I saw you both, you and Kendra, were so gracious and generous, and you really loved on each other in that performance. And I thought, there's hope in this world.
I'm glad. I'm glad that was palpable through the performance.
But especially women.
Yeah.
Especially women in
Oh,
this
big
industry,
time.
right?
Yep.
I'm not overstepping. I mean,
No.
I was raised by my mother, you know, and I have tapes, audio tapes of my mother just asking me, like, as a kid, like, are boys better than girls? And I'm like, no, they're equal. And she's like, good, you know?
Oh my God, that's awesome.
I mean,
that's awesome.
Yeah, it is awesome. It's a no-brainer for me.
Yeah.
But then I see women that are like out there, and the ones that are the loudest about women empowerment are kind of the ones that can be the biggest jerks towards other women.
Yeah, unfortunately, that does seem to be the case. Being a female singer, a female artist, the competitiveness, it's crazy. For me, it's not really competition, it's more comparison.
Right.
And especially in the day and age of social media, it's like, oh, who has more Instagram followers? Who's getting more likes on their Instagram posts? Who has more monthly listeners on Spotify? Let's compare these two girls. Which one is prettier? It's just, it feels like we're constantly inundated with this apples and oranges thing.
Yeah.
And it was so refreshing on The Voice to have the experience of looking at every other female artist and seeing who they are for their special talent, their place in the universe. And I've been really just trying to see the whole world as like one, you know, we're all part of one thing. Yeah. And especially with music, our goal is to create something beautiful. And if somebody else is creating something beautiful, why would that detract from my creation? Yeah. You know, one win is a win for everybody.
Yeah. Do you like to collaborate?
I love to collaborate.
Yeah?
Yeah. My next projects, like, you know, they're still very much like in the works, but I'm hoping to do a lot of collaboration.
And so you co-write with people?
I love to co-write.
That's good, because Nashville's that way. When I first came here as a co-write, I'm a drummer first. I would take the guitar player, Alex, actually, from Them Vibes, but we were in a country band together before we were Them Vibes, and we were a big band living together and traveling the country together. We were like a really cool gang.
That's cool.
We were signed, we were dropped, we did the dance. But I remember it was my first time co-writing because I was in a band that was on a label. So people were like, yeah, let's write. And I was like, great, they want to write with me. I would take his guitar and never take it out of the case because I was so petrified. I was so scared to co-write and share an idea. I was so precious about everything. And And I thought, I'm terrible. I'm horrible. Please cancel. I've talked about this on the show a million times. Just please. My anxiety was through the roof. So
there.
So you've been there. So what's it like? What is it like for you to step in? Do you write with people that you don't know?
I mean, occasionally. I think I've gotten very lucky in that some of the closest people to me in my life, including my partner, Carl, who plays drums for me and has been producing the past few releases of mine, we recently started writing together.
Oh, that's so cool.
And it took us we've been dating for 5 years. It took us 4 years of dating to finally step into that. And now we write together. I write with one of my really good friends, Gracie Moses, a lot. We wrote Own Way together.
That's right.
It was the three of us, Carl, Gracie, and me. And I think finding my people who I know it, I can't tell them an idea that they're going to judge me about.
That's
it can
great.
be the dumbest thing, the worst idea, and they're not gonna say anything. I mean, because like we all know each other and respect each other so much as artists and writers. I think for me, because I'm a little bit more on the reserved side, it's hard for me to bring something that feels really precious to somebody I don't know.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. But that right there is important to understand.
Yeah.
Is that to walk into it just being like, I don't know. Maybe it's something, maybe it's not. Like I've learned to be at peace with that, which is just going with this conversation is you're comfortable in your own skin.
I try to be.
You know?
Yeah.
I mean, it's hard to be.
Yeah.
But going back to like television and you being an artist, being comfortable in your own skin, I'm sure you've taken a lot of shit. The internet is not kind. People are terrible.
Jeez, I was.
So, you go into a co-write with friends and partners and all that, and you are at a space in your life where you can just be you, and that's enough.
Yeah.
Now, the other side of that, how did you deal with all of that?
Oh my God.
You
The
know.
comments, honestly, I'm a big humor person. If you can't find humor in it, what's the point? I honestly, like, it does affect me a little bit,
Yeah.
especially if I'm not feeling super great overall already. But in hindsight, like, those internet comments that are negative are so funny to me.
That's good.
I think they're hilarious. I was looking through some of them today, and I might make a little like Instagram reel about my favorites because
Do you remember any of them? Like,
I have one guy. He's a bully of mine, and some other female artists I know. He's kind of found their pages too.
Wow.
So I'm not the only one, but he likes to comment that if you use profanity in your lyrics, you're evil. And there's something about God. He's saying this is a sin. You're sinning. This is the devil.
Wow.
I can't believe you turned such beautiful art. I used to be a fan, but now that you use profanity,
so
can't
terrible.
believe it.
I'm so sorry you let that person down.
I know. I'm like, I'm so sorry. And of course, one of my friends goes in and responds to his comment. I'm like, don't respond. That's
Yeah.
what he wants.
Exactly. Yeah. So you have a good head on your shoulders. I mean, how do you keep that going? I mean, times are crazy. I suffer from depression. I'm not asking you to go deep
Yeah.
into all this stuff. You can say whatever you
Yeah.
want. But how is your mental health throughout all of this? I mean, the goal of one of these contests is to win. And that's like stardom. And not winning is stardom as well. You made
Yeah.
it to what? Top 18? More
I
than
was
that.
top 18.
Top
yeah.
18. So you have some fame here.
Yeah.
How you
Yeah.
deal with all of this stuff?
It's definitely like up and down. I think with this show, just getting on it was a win.
Yeah.
And I just wanted to be on the show. My
Yeah.
goal was just to get on. So getting to the top 18 was definitely like more than I ever expected.
Yeah.
It's hard on your mental health. Like I have been to rehab before. I'm, a drug addict, an alcoholic, and like this type of thing it's very destabilizing. Wow. So I can see that being hard.
Yeah. Wow. Well, that's very brave of you. What do you have in place, daily
Yeah.
and like routine-wise? Because I know routine is important. I just surpassed or celebrated 4 years without alcohol.
That's amazing.
Thank you.
That's
Yeah.
amazing.
Last week.
Wow.
And I have things in place.
Yeah.
My morning pages when I get up.
Yep.
I meditate.
Yeah.
I do
yes.
some reading. I'm a spiritual person.
Yeah.
More than a religious person. And if I don't go to the gym and move my body, and if I don't connect to people, I'm a very dark person. I mean, I'll go to Kroger to just get some connection. If I'm spiraling, and which is unfortunately too much of the time, and I've already been to the gym, and I'll be at home, I'm like, I'm going to Kroger, and I'll be like, yeah, I'm like, oh, apple.
Better than just sitting there.
You like apples too, huh? We both like apples. And the person's like, this guy's a nut job, But what do you have in place for, yourself? That's just,
You
yours?
just named a bunch of them. Like
Yeah.
I've heard connection is the opposite of addiction.
That's what that's what I heard. Natasha Blaine,
And you heard it here. And that's so true for me. I mean, when I find that like I'm spiraling, the first thing that I need to do is talk to somebody about how I'm feeling, even though that's always the last thing that you want to do. Because I feel like I don't want to be a burden. I don't want to have to tell somebody about some stupid problem I'm having at work or whatever that's making me mad.
Yeah. Wow.
But honestly, like staying connected with people, staying connected with my support system, you know, therapy. I love my therapist. It's taken me many years to find a therapist that works for me.
Yeah.
And that's something that a lot of people don't talk about. Like sometimes you can go to therapy, but it's not the right fit and you're not fully comfortable sharing what you need to share with your therapist. And it's not really worth it at that point. So I'm lucky that I have a therapist that I really love and she really helps me. And yeah, my support system, my partner, my family, going to the gym. I love meditating. It has been just transformative. For my recovery and just for my mental health. Like I sit out there if it's nice out on our porch and in the morning and I listen to a guided meditation or I just do like a few minutes of silence if I don't have a lot of time. And even though in the moment it just feels like I don't want to fucking do this.
Yeah.
I just want to make my coffee and
get to where I need to
thinking
go.
about all the things I need to do, but it always makes a difference. It's so important to me.
Absolutely. You know, we were talking about Brene Brown. I have a lovely quote here. You are imperfect. You are wired for struggle, but you are worthy of love and belonging. And I read that this morning before I came here. It centered me in such a wonderful way. And the fact that you have these things in place are just such a testament to your sound of music, to who you are. I'm in your home and it feels like a solid foundational place.
Thank you.
Yeah, no, thank you. I mean,
Yeah.
it's funny. I love my therapist also. And I got yelled at for that by a relative of mine, a family member who has been, unfortunately drugs and depression for a lifetime. And he was like, if you love your therapist, that means you're not doing it right. You know?
God,
and I was like, go to hell. I love my therapist.
Everybody's got a different way that they can
What?
have therapy.
Yeah. To know that I'm not just completely, maybe whitewashing it and just yesing him to death and just coming out being like, I tricked my therapist again.
That's what I used to do. And you better believe I was doing drugs and coming to therapy and saying everything was great. And I
Right.
was like, why isn't therapy working?
Right. We know how to do the dance,
Yeah.
What I also know is that my wife and I, we had a therapist that we didn't like. So, okay, enough of
Yeah.
that. Yes,
Yeah.
enough of that and on to the next one.
Yeah.
You are wonderful. You're doing such great stuff.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, you're welcome. I know you have a single coming out, the Sade song.
So that just came out
It
last
did?
week. Yeah.
Congratulations.
Yeah, thank you.
So what is it, Kiss of Life?
Kiss of Life. It's the song I sang on The Voice.
Right.
So they didn't air my full song, the full
Right.
song on the TV show.
Okay.
So if you want to hear the full song, it's now on Spotify and everywhere you listen to music.
Perfect. Well, I
Yeah.
have a quick speed round, Natasha Blaine.
Okay.
Are you ready? Okay.
Yes.
What fascinates you?
Nature.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, what about nature? What in particular?
Just the fact that we are so powerless to the forces of nature. I was just in Australia with my family, which was a beautiful experience. And I was out there snorkeling in the Great Barrier Reef, and I went without my family because they were all scuba diving. So I was just having this like kind of personal, spiritual experience and looking out at the waves, just like disappearing into the horizon and seeing all these little fish and corals living under there, and they just don't know what's going on in our world. We don't know what's going on in theirs. And it just makes you feel like all the problems that, you're constantly dealing with in your head are a lot more minute than they seem.
That's beautiful. What angers you?
People watching videos out loud on their phone in public places.
I hate that. What brings you joy?
My dog, Luther.
That's beautiful. He's beautiful. All right. The big one. Toilet paper over the roll or under the roll, Natasha Blaine?
Over all the way.
I knew you were a sane and loving, beautiful human being. Natasha Blaine, how do we find you? You're going to be playing shows. You are going to be at Musicians Corner.
Yes,
When
Musicians
is that?
Corner. It's on the 29th
That's
of
right.
May.
Correct.
We play at 5 o'clock, so we're the first slot on the main stage.
That is beautiful. Musicians Corner. You can check it all out at Centennial Park right here in Nashville, Tennessee on the 29th. You're also at Vinyl Tap on June 13th, correct?
Yes.
That's right. I do my homework.
Great. Yeah, you know.
Where do we find you, Natasha Blaine?
You can find me at Natasha Blaine on Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, Spotify, Apple Music, Tidal. Just keep naming them.
You're an amazing artist. You're going to make a lot of us happy with your music,
Oh, thank you.
as you already have. You can dance to it. You can groove to it. You can love to it. Natasha Blaine, thank you
Thank you for having me.
Thank you for being on the Just Keep Talking podcast. My name is Brother Love. And when you're out there driving around, folks, use your turn signal, okay? You're not alone. Until next time, bye-bye. You can personally support this show simply by clicking the tip link in the show notes. The Just Keep Talking podcast is now available on all podcast platforms. Please like, share, and subscribe. Visit our website at justkeeptalking.com, our YouTube channel at Just Keep Talking Podcast, and Instagram at The Just Keep Talking Podcast. We all just want to be seen, to be heard, and to belong. Thank you so much for supporting my mission and the Just Keep Talking Podcast with me, Brother Love, because your story matters.